All right, everybody, what's up? It's your boy, Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the GoGetter family and the entrepreneur who is just like everybody else out there. But I finally cracked the code to the real estate matrix. I became the bank. And I'm here to give you guys that same knowledge that changed my life. So on this live tonight, first off, I want to thank you guys for joining me. Right, this was kind of this is almost a spur of the moment live, but I've got a TikTok video that man, it's got like 700,000 views in a day, and it's about wholesaling. And I had a lot of people that were reaching out, asking me how you do it. Can they start? So I want to kind of give you guys the game, right? I want to give you guys the game because wholesaling, it's kind of like being a broker, right? A middleman. That's what wholesaling is. It's kind of like being a middleman where you get something for cheaper and then you sell it for a little bit more, but you don't use any of your own money. You don't use any of your own money. So, and if you're a go-getter, that's why I wear these hustle shirts, you know what I mean? And the go-getter family stuff gear. If you're a go-getter, you're going to be able to do this and be more than successful at it. I mean, if all it's going to do is give you financial freedom in the next 12 months, then what do you have to lose, But this is the thing, guys. I came up with a new strategy, and it's very rare in our lifetime that we come up with something new. I mean, everything under the sun has been done. It's been invented. There's really not much that's original. So, I'm missing my E on wholesale there. There's really not much that is original, but I came up with a method and I call it wholesale and hold. All right. So it's kind of like a buy and hold in real estate. But if anybody was like me trying to get into real estate, one, I didn't have a lump sum of money, right? I did not have hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I definitely didn't have good enough credit for a bank to finance me. So with this wholesale and hold method, you can do all of that. You can wholesale the property, get a nice chunk of money, and then you can also hold on to it and make monthly passive income without using your own money and without having to apply for credit, right? And we do this by becoming the bank. Becoming the bank, y'all. And it means just what it says, right? Becoming the bank. So I'm going to break it down for you because I know most people are just like me, man. I'm a regular person. And this is kind of how it started for me, man. First off, I graduated third from last in my high school class. Third from last, y'all. And it's kind of embarrassing to say, but I'm now in the 1% of income earners in the country. So I don't mind saying that I graduated third from last because it just shows that everybody can do it. But I was actually working. Well, I had just came off one of the hugest mistakes in my life. So I was starting at the bottom. And to top it all off, I had just had my first daughter, man, my first kid, right? Kind of a late bloomer, you know what I mean? But hey, I'm spreading my wings, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I had my first daughter. So, I had some new responsibilities. I had responsibilities that I had to take care of. And I was working at a landscaping job to take care of my new family, right? I'm working there to take care of my new family because I felt like I cannot let them down. I can't have my family going through what I went through as a kid, having my daughter want for things. I can't go through that. So what I was going to do was get into flipping houses with a friend of mine who made it. He's a doctor, right? Childhood friend, though. Childhood friend. We've been through a lot, man. He grew up with a single mother, things like that. But what I really wanted to do was build something that I could pass down to my kids, some generational wealth, man, to leave them with something. Because I started off in this world, with nothing. Just like most of the people that are watching this, because if you're watching this video, it's like a how-to video, right? So if you're watching this video, you're trying to learn how to make some more money, or get some assets and change something in your life. You want something different, right? but I needed to figure out a way to support me and my new family, you know, and just have a good journey, man, a life, experience life. So I was actually doing some fix and flips with my friend who made it. He's a doctor, right? And we were trying everything, you know, because when you do fix and flips the traditional way, you got to have a boatload of money. And then you got to have, you know, money to pay your contractor. And you better hope that you have a good contractor. Because once it gets into that fix mode, woo, that is nerve wracking. Oh my goodness. That's very nerve wracking. But then, or you got to be able to borrow money from a bank for a fix and flips or buy and hold, right? And I only did 3 fix and flips in 3 years. 3 fix and flips. I mean, that ain't no money. That is not any money. But you know, I had to try to find the best deals just so there was enough money left over to split 50-50 with my partner. So finding a good deal meant everything, you know what I mean? But it seemed like each new thing that I tried, it ended up costing me and my partner money that we didn't have, right? And then also time away from my family. You know, it almost made me feel like I was letting them down, man. You know what I mean? It almost made me feel like I was letting my family down because I was using that money that we really didn't have, you know, and then I wasn't spending time with them like I wanted to. So it's like, man, you're not making any money and you're not home that much. So, you know, I just felt, man, it's hard to explain, you know, I just felt like I wasn't living up to their expectations. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever felt that way? Especially like if you're responsible, man, like, you know, I'm a good father, man. I take it very seriously. Um, so it's crazy though. It's crazy because at around that time, right? It was this moment in time. My partner says to me, right? Why can't I just take over somebody's mortgage? I can afford to do that. This is where the magic begins with the wholesale and hold, guys. This is where it begins, like becoming the bank. He says, why can't I just take over somebody's mortgage? I can afford to pay that, right? Because he was a doctor. He can make mortgage payments, right? He doesn't have to come up with a lump sum of money. So anyway, I say to him, you can't do that. I've never heard of that, first off. Oh my goodness. I've never heard of that, first off. So there's no way that we can do that. Um, anyway, sorry, I'm texting my lady. She cooked dinner. So anyway, so I say there's no way that you can do that. I've never heard of it. Now, mind you, right? He was a doctor and I ran the business, so he was supposed to finance it, you know, because he had made it, right? And we had always talked about this. So I studied real estate because I didn't want to let him down. He was my partner. I didn't want to have him invest a ton of money and then me lose the money. So I studied real estate, man, like you wouldn't believe. And so I wrote a 58-page step-by-step plan on how to invest the traditional way with fix and flips, because that's what everybody thinks when they get into real estate or when they have that dream of becoming an investor or getting into real estate. You think you got to be a realtor or you have to do fix and flips to make some money. Guys, I'm not a realtor. I don't have any sort of license. And I do not do fix and flips. I don't do fix and flips, guys. And I own 6 houses since April. I own 6 houses and I've done 7 transactions. I have not swung a hammer. I have not screwed a screw. All right. Yeah, it's crazy. I'm gonna break that down to you with that wholesale and hold, man. I'm telling you, it's like becoming the bank. That's what it's kind of like. So, but I tell them, like, you know, there's no way you can do that. I've never heard of taking over somebody's mortgage. Like, if you could, why wouldn't everybody do it, right? So, the thing about, you know, we were doing those traditional fix and flips, and again, I was doing them for 3 years, and we only did 3. So there really is no money in that. But the banks, right, they either wanted 20% down when we would go get a loan to buy a house. And the way that the market is, man, house prices were going up. So they either wanted 20% down or they had too high of an interest rate. So when we were holding them, the properties during the fixed period and the sell and all that, they just ate away at our profit, you know, it just ate away at our profit. And like I said, I was working so hard to find these deals. So I found the perfect deal, man. I worked my ass off to find this deal. I found the perfect deal. And yet again, we lost it. It was perfect too. It was a pre-foreclosure. And I mean, we could have made, 120,000, split that 60 grand, man. Boom. And the house barely needed any work, man. Once we lost that, I was like, oh my goodness. And what's crazy is I was working at a landscaping company. Mowing lawns, and they did snow removal, right? And it was kind of like I was working below my means, below my talents. I knew that I was better than working at a landscaping company. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's why real estate was the way to go, for me, in my opinion. Real estate. And a lot of people think about real estate, but then they think I gotta have money to make money, or I gotta have this good credit. And I'm about to explain to you that that is not true. You don't need either of those things. I bought 6 houses, and I haven't spent any money out of my own pocket to buy those houses. None whatsoever. Oh, and guys, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new, okay? I'm also going to be answering some questions for you live. So whatever, any question you got, I'm going to answer it. Anything goes, right? So anyway, I'm working at this landscaping company, and my boss, he has a medical situation. So he's out, man, for like a month. Well, I had worked my way up to the top, running the business. I had the people under me. I'm running it. So he leaves, and I'm running this business for him. And I know that most of you guys probably feel the same way that I do, man, that our bosses, people at our job, our supervisors, they don't value us, right? They don't treat us like we should be treated. You know what I mean? So it was the same thing here. Man. I felt undervalued. I felt underpaid, so I keep this business afloat for him, but I wanted to learn how to plow, right? Because I'm not a handy person. So I wanted to learn how to plow, so that, I always had a tool in my tool belt to make money, right? I could always do this. So I would tell him, like, hey, I want to learn how to plow this season. He's like, oh, it's going to take a lot of time to teach you. I don't know if I'll have time, this, that. So I'm like, all right, I'm being patient. I've proven myself. Dude, I worked there for 3 months, and I didn't touch one of those riding mowers. I didn't touch that. I didn't touch it unless I pulled it out of the trailer. Other than that, I'm using a push mower, and I'm weed whacking. I'm weed whacking. And guys, right now, I own 3 companies. All right. I own 3 companies. I own 6 houses too. So I worked my way up. But he hires this guy, and the next day he put him in a plow truck all day. I felt a way about it. I felt some type of way about it. So I was like, man, I let him know about it. Well, he doesn't call me back the next time it snows. So now I don't have a job. I got fired pretty much. My back's against the wall, man. My back is against the wall because I've got a family. My daughter was just born. So, and I'm a man, you know what I mean? I'm going to take care of my responsibilities any way necessary. That's why I was working at a landscaping company. And it was just kind of like, I was embarrassed, to work there. But then I was like, I always knew in my mind what I was going to do. That's why with this, like, wholesale and hold, man, it allows me to be the person that I am. Right? To be the person that I am, because I can go in and I can buy these houses by taking over the debt on them. But I'm not just wholesaling them where I buy it for a low price and then I sell it for a higher price. It's kind of like, man, I'm from the hood, man. You know what I mean? It's kind of like selling drugs, right? When you would middleman a deal. You know what I'm saying? You would go to the brick man, you know what I mean? And because you had the plug, you had the connect. So you go to the brick man, and then you buy a brick for the low ski. You buy for the low. And then you got somebody that had hit you up that wanted a brick. So you put your tax on that brick. You know what I mean? I'm keeping it 100 with y'all, man. I am. It's a go-getter family. But so that's what it's kind of like. It's kind of like selling drugs, man. That's what wholesaling is, right? But now with the wholesale and hold, man, we are getting it fronted to us. Oh, we get it fronted to us. And then we hold on to it. So we're able to sell some of it for a big chunk of money. And then we're piecing it out. That's what our monthly passive income is off of these houses. That's where the hold comes in. So this is, it's like dealing drugs, but it's legal. It's legal. We're not breaking the law, and we're helping people, man. So this allowed me to, to live up to my potential. I don't come from money. I had a rough life, man. I made plenty of mistakes, but I kept pushing. That was one thing about it, man. I kept pushing. So it popped in my mind when my boss didn't call me, right, and it snowed. It came to my mind like, uh, take over the payments. Take over the payments because I got to dive full into this real estate now. I'm like, man, I'm not going to work for another boss that doesn't value me, right? That treats me like crap, disrespects me, man. I'm done with that. Hell no. So what my partner said came to mind. So I look it up, right? And this is where it begins, man. I look it up. And dude, when I looked it up, I found an assumption, which is the same thing. An assumption is the same thing. You got to apply for credit, you got to follow all these regulations and things like that. Well, then I found subject to the existing financing. And what that means is this, right? It's kind of like this, all right? Somebody owns a car. They borrowed money from a bank to buy that car, okay? And this is a 2021, right? It's a beautiful car, man, brand new, 2021. So they had good enough credit to go borrow the money from the bank to buy this car, right? Well, now they got laid off at their job, so they're not making as much money. So what we do is this, because they still have that loan and they can't take that car back to the dealership. You know what I mean? They can't take it back to the dealership, but there's depreciation on that vehicle too. So they can't try to sell it and then pay off the loan because they probably owe more than what the car is worth on the retail market. So subject to the existing financing is like this with houses, right? What happens is we come in and instead of, yo, what up, homie? Hey, ask any questions, I'll answer them for you, man. I appreciate you watching too. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. So it's kind of like this, right? This person bought this new car, they can't afford it anymore. Well, I find out that they can't afford it. They're not even necessarily selling it because we want off-market houses. And I'm going to teach you guys how to find those, right? There's a great way many ways that we use. So I find out though that they can't afford this car anymore. So I pull up on him. And I break it down to them like, hey, listen now, your credit's going to be ruined. They're going to take that car back. So all that money that you put in and paid for that car, it's going to mean nothing, right? So how about I give you $1,000 and then I'll just take over the payments on that car. And they say, yeah. But the difference with the house is the deed goes in our name. Right? The deed goes in our name, not the debt, though. That debt stays with the seller, the person who had bought that car. That's what subject to the existing financing is. And when I find it, though, right, there's a guy on a whiteboard just like this, and he's saying the documents that you need. And I'm going to go over those documents right now because of this, right? You guys are going to be like, what? Just like I was. You guys are going to be like, oh, hell no. So what you need first, right? You got to have the proper documents to do this, right? To take over the debt on a house. So you can buy a house, an investment property, and you can buy as many as you want by taking over the existing debt that was already qualified for. So you need particular forms. The first one you need is an information release form. Whoops, forgot my L. Oh man, I can't spell right now, right? Good thing everything has spell check on it. I'd be in trouble. So you need an information release. And I'll tell you what each one does. An information release form, right? What that does is, because when you call a bank, I got the contracts, man. Yeah, because these contracts for subject to and creative financing, you're not going to be able to find these from lawyers. Some lawyers don't even know what subject to is, right? And you want to have particular things. You want to have the right things in your contract. So we'll talk about that, man. Dominic Diaz, what up, homie? Hey, when you guys do ask a question, can you put where you're from? Because I'm going to pull them up on the screen later when I start answering questions. Put where you're from, man. I want to know, homie. I'm in Iowa and I'm doing it big. So an information release form, right? That is so when you call the bank, you can find out what the terms of that mortgage is because they're not going to release any information to you. So when you have that information release form signed, you're going to either email it, you're going to scan it and email it to them or fax it to them. And they will give you the percentage rate, right? Is it, are they paying 5% interest? Is it an adjustable rate or a fixed rate, right? How much are they behind? Are they behind on their payments? What else here? how much do they owe? What is the payoff amount, right? That you need that information release form. Now, you won't be able to change anything on the account on that mortgage, but you will be able to get that information. The next thing you need is a power of attorney. Power of attorney form. Now that is so you can sell that house, you can change the terms. So anyway, you can change the terms, right? Man, that power of attorney, it does everything. Now we use it a little bit different, right? This is what scared me. I'm going to tell you guys why that scared me. But then you need your standard purchase agreement. I'm going to leave standard out of there right now. You just need your purchase agreement, right? Purchase agreement. Okay. Then you need something that is called, we call this, I call it the CTF letter, cover the family, seller acknowledgement. Seller acknowledgement, right? And that makes sure, Jesus, I can't spell, man. I'm going to leave the vowels out. So that makes sure, right, the person isn't drunk, isn't high, they have the mental capacity to sign a contract, right? You're not taking advantage of them. They understand the terms of the contract, all of that stuff. That is the cover the family letter, because you want to protect your assets always, right? Always want to protect your assets. That's why, you know, at our roundtable meetings that I have with my roundtable, you know, we talk about ways to protect our assets. You know, we use blind trust. We buy and trust too, but that's high level, man. That's a little more sophisticated. I don't want to get that deep right now because I don't want to lose anybody. Anyway, seller acknowledgement, your due on sale acknowledgement. This is with the subject too. Now I use creative financing too. That's a little bit different, and we'll talk about that. I'm gonna leave the vowels out once again. So, okay, you're let me see, information link 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it, right? And now I always use my deal insurance. Deal insurance, deal insurance, deal insurance. What that is a memorandum of contract. That makes sure when you get that signed, when you get that deal insurance signed, you go down to the recorder's office and you record this document. So when they sign the purchase agreement, they can't stop answering your phone calls, like before you go to closing or before you close with them. Maybe somebody came and offered them more money than you, right? So they stop answering your phone calls, stop answering your texts, and you put in all this time and all this effort, and they're just like, I don't care. You know, somebody offered me 500 more bucks. Somebody offered me 1,000 more bucks. So I don't care. I'm not going to answer Gene's calls anymore. He's not buying my house himself. Bush, what? I wish a mother would. Hey, my mentor, man, he's got a video of him getting a $7,000 check because of this. So you go record this document. What that does is it clouds the title. It clouds the title. So when they go to sell it to this other person behind your back, the title company will call you, because they'll do a title search and they'll see that you have this title clouded, and they'll call you and they'll say, hey, we see that you clouded this title. Will you release it? And you say, yeah, I'll release it. My fee to release is $5,000 or whatever you want to put on. Depends on how much the house is worth, whatever. It's up to you, because they had an agreement with you. That form right there is dope. So anyway, so this is where I was at though, man. I hear about these documents and I hear them say power of attorney. And I'm like, what? Power of attorney? I was like, here's another one that I can't do, because who in the hell is going to give me power of attorney? Like, who's going to give me power of attorney? That's what I was thinking. And so that was the first video that I saw. Well, then the second video came up, and that was my mentor, my now mentor. I worked my way to him, and he is a legend. And Chris Haskins, Chris with a K, man, legend in this strategy and in the real estate industry in and of itself. But his video came up, and the way that he explained it, man, the artistry that he used, oh man, it was dope, man. You had your standard information release form, your power of attorney. It's a limited power of attorney. It's limited, guys, limited. So it's not like a power of attorney over them, a dominion over them or something. And then your purchase agreement, standard purchase agreement, standard. That's why all of our documents are standard, because we do this all the time, Mr. Seller. This is standard. It's not, you know, the standard purchase agreement. It's no big deal, right? A limited power of attorney. It is limited to this property, right? So that I can take care of this problem for you. So when the way that he explained it, the artistry, we use magic words, right? We use magic words and we use magic phrases, man, and it gets us in there every time. So the way that my mentor explained it, I was like, oh my God, I can do this. I can do this. It was like a chill ran through my body, man. Like I feel it right now, man. A chill ran through my body because I found the strategy that was going to be the keys to the kingdom. And that's exactly what I said. I was like, man, this is the keys to the kingdom because I can buy investment properties by taking over the debt on when I don't have to go to a bank and apply for credit, bring my W-2s, debt to income ratios, proof of income. I don't have to do any of that. Wow. Wow, man, I can do this. So when I told myself I can do this, and I'm not even gonna lie to you, man, a tear literally rolled down my cheek, man. When I was listening to him, I was listening to my mentor's YouTube I was on the highway, man, because I just started studying this, and a tear rolled down my cheek because I knew it. And here I am today, man, booming too, booming. So what I did though was, man, I was like, bro, I just dove in. I dove in. I locked myself in the basement for 3 months. For 3 months straight, man. I used to tell people that I wasn't getting no sun, man. So I was so white, I was damn near see-through. I was damn near see-through, man. But so I studied, man. I watched all the YouTubes that I could. It's hard to find these contracts for this. So I got contracts from around the industry from the few people that are using this strategy. And then I got those contracts and I created my own. I created my own contracts and I had a lawyer look at them to make sure the language was good. So once I did that though, man, it was on, bro. It was on. I took action. And when I took that action, it was man, it was scary at first. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like I was nervous, it was scary, but I kept going, man. I kept going. And you know what's crazy is like in my course that I have, I teach the negotiating in there. Because people always say, like, what do you say to a person? What do you say to a person to get them to let you take over the debt on their house? Like, who in the world would do that? So, first off, you don't go in there and you don't use industry jargon, and saying, hey, yeah, there's something called subject to the existing financing. People can be like, what in the hell? No, get out of my house. What are you talking about? So, this is one of the lines that I use. I'm going to give you guys this game right now. I always tell them, that they might qualify for our loan assignment program. And what they do, when they're like loan assignment program, you might qualify for our loan assignment program. And what that is ideally, we'd love to find a buyer for the property. But until then, we're just going to continue to make your payments for you. Then that's it. You're silent, right? Because there's an artistry to this. So that's why in my course, man, I've got that negotiating in there, because your two most important things are going to be finding these properties, because we buy off-market properties, no competition deals. So finding these properties and then negotiating, talking to these people, man. But understand this, guys, we are helping them. We are helping these people. We are not going in there looking just because, oh, we can take over the debt on this house. We're just going to come in and we're just going to take over this debt and damn, the seller and their problems. No. And if that's the way that you're thinking, I'll tell you this right now, the GoGetter family is not the right place for you. It's not, because we don't exploit people. We don't take advantage of people. We do not lie to people. You just don't do that, because you don't have to. One, we are a trusted consultant for these people, a trusted advisor. That's why when we're talking to them, we want to, we use open-ended questions, right? So that we can figure out what their pain point is. Because what we do is we find out what their true pain is. What is going on? What happened that made you fall behind on these payments or not be able to afford it? Maybe they're not behind. Maybe they're not in foreclosure, right? I just like foreclosures because these people are highly motivated. So that's why I have that foreclosure buying free foreclosure courses. And yes, buying something that's free, it doesn't make sense, but we don't pay for it and we own it. So therefore we bought it, man. So it's dope. But, we ask those open-ended questions so that we can find out what their problem is. But then we want to find out, well, what are you trying to achieve by selling your house? What are you trying to achieve by this transaction? Or ideally, if you were able to sell your house today, if I bought your house today, what would that mean to you, right? So when we find that out, now we know what their pain is and we know what their pleasure is. What happens is, guys, we become the architect, okay, that gets them from that pain to that pleasure, okay? And we show them how we can get them from that pain to that pleasure. And what that does is it shows them that we are competent and we are capable of doing that, because they have got to trust us. They have got to trust us, man. And because we're helping these people, you know. So by them trusting us, man, you know, there isn't anything that they won't let you do as it pertains to that house, man. You guys will be surprised if you knew some of the transactions that I've done. It's crazy, man. And I show receipts on all of my social medias, man. Checks, bro, checks, 20, 30,000, 12,000, you know. Oh man, my apprentice, you know, man, my 18-year-old apprentice just got his first $9,000 assignment, just turned 18 on a wholesale transaction. That's part of creative financing. So we don't box ourselves in. But I locked myself in that basement. And just like Chris said, man, just like Chris said, I got my first subject to in April of this past year. And just like he said, I got it without applying for any credit, going into any banks, and I didn't need a lump sum of money out of my own pocket to buy this house. I bought this house. I gave the seller $15,000, right? And then I took over the rest of their mortgage because they had some equity. So I paid out some of their equity, right? And paying out some of their equity, it's because the value of the property had went up, you know, so the property was worth a lot more than what they owed. So this is how I did that. I'm going to give you this game right now on how I did it. And we'll dig a little bit deeper into it on this video too. But what I did was this: I got it under contract, right? Because, you know, like Chris said, and he taught me, you know, I've learned from some masters, man, and we've got to give credit where it's due. You know what I mean? You don't want to, I'm not acting like I just came up with this. You know, I invented this strategy, because I didn't, man. I didn't. Now I have taken pieces of it that I've learned from here, there, and other places, and put that together to make my own system, the 7 steps to becoming the bank. 7 steps to becoming the bank. We'll go over that a bit too. So anyway, I got it under contract and I gave myself 30 days to close. So during that 30 days, right? So let's just say I got it under contract December 1st, right? And then I told the seller I'll close on December 31st. So now I have 30 days where I legally have a financial interest in this property because I have it under contract to buy it. So I can legally turn around and go market this property as for sale. For sale, right? But essentially all I'm doing is selling the contract, man. And they again, it's like being a drug dealer, man. It's like being a drug dealer where you go get some bricks fronted to you, right? You get these bricks fronted to you, and the plug's like, hey man, how my money in 30 days? You know what I mean? You like, oh my goodness, right? So I'm not promoting selling drugs either, man. I'm not promoting that, because you don't have to. You don't have to. You can get financial freedom off of getting in the real estate game by using the 7 steps to becoming the bank. So I'm definitely not promoting that. But it's kind of like that, man. It is, because we don't need a lump sum of money. So we're fronting it from the plug. And the plug says we got 30 days to bring their money back. So as soon as you get it, you making calls, you like, hey man, I got these for the low, I got these bricks for the low, right? Well, it's the same thing. I get the house under contract, I start marketing it. But what I do is this: I market it rent to own, no credit checks, down payment required. Bro, my phone was blowing up. My phone was blowing up. It was blowing up, man. I gotta take a drink of water. My phone was blowing up because, guys, understand this: 70% of the population, they want to become homeowners, right? But 70% of the population has less than perfect credit. Yeah. So my market of buyers is much larger than the traditional market that goes out there and qualifies for a mortgage, because most people, it's hard, man, unless you get like an FHA. But a conventional mortgage, man, that's almost impossible. So I market it during those 30 days as a rent to own, right? House for sale, rent to own, no credit checks. I'm not gonna run your credit. The GoGetter family bank does not run credit. You know, this is what you do when you become the bank. But down payment required. Now the down payment, that's the key. The down payment is the key, because what I have agreed with my seller, I agreed to pay my seller $15,000. I didn't have 15,000. I'm not even gonna sit up here and stunt like I had 15 bands, because I didn't have $15,000, right? But I started marketing that property. Now the property, my first property, beautiful, beautiful. It didn't need any work, right? It was a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom in a neighborhood that they call God's country where I'm from. So it is a very desirable neighborhood. So I said down payment required. Well, guess what? I got a $20,000 down payment. I got a $20,000 down payment. So out of that 20,000, I took 15 of that and I paid my seller. I paid my seller. So now I got $5,000 left over, right? Well, I paid the closing costs on that. So I ended up putting only about 3,300 in my pocket. But guess what? I own a house now. I own a house. Yo, what up, Candace? I own a house now, and I pretty much got paid to own a house. That's why my course is called Buying Free Foreclosures. Buying Free Foreclosures. Because I got paid, man. I bought this house for free. Now, these people weren't in foreclosure. They were actually selling. This was a for sale by owner that I found on Zillow. And I don't tell my students now to look on Zillow because you don't need to do that. I was just a beginner, man. So, but just like Chris said, man, I got my first house. Got my first house by taking over that debt. Then, hey, thanks, Henry. Guys, put where you're from when you ask a question because I'm going to pull it up on the screen here in a minute. So anyway, then in 90 days, guys, using that strategy, because I dove in. Once I got that first house, I was like, pew, I was gone, man. I acquired 4 houses. And then I did 5 transactions in 90 days. And I did that all without spending any money out of my own pocket. Now, I have never taken money out of my pocket and said, here, this is for your house. Never. And now I own 6 houses, guys. I own 6. Candace is on here watching. She's from my hometown. She was looking at buying one of my houses. She'll tell you. She's been in it, man. And then I've had a seminar, man. And that's what, like, ever since then, I have been, I've spoken at leadership conferences. I've been on podcasts. I've spoken at seminars. I even had my own seminar because I wanted to teach people, how to do this, man. I did. And I came up with a strategy because I was like, you know what? If my parents would have had this knowledge, I would have grew up different. And I don't use my past as an excuse, right? But, growing up rough, not having money for school clothes, going back to school after summer's over, wearing your clothes from the year before, man, what? Yo, you asking to get roasted. Man. And like, that's how I grew up. You know what I mean? I used to have to mow lawns and stuff in the summertime so I could buy some clothes. So I was like, you know what? Everybody needs this knowledge, man, because it's not out there. We are playing the game like the wealthy. We are playing by their rules because when they create an industry, they make rules for them and then they make rules for us. Well, the rules for us are going to be more restrictive. Their rules are going to let them move through there, man, smooth. They don't got to apply for credit. They can file bankruptcy and somehow get loans for millions of dollars, right? It's crazy. So we're playing by their rules. So I was like, you know what? I have got to get this knowledge out to the people, man. So what I did was I created a system by trial and error. I went out there. I made mistakes, man. And the wisest people, the smartest people, they learn from mistakes. They learn. Man, I just got off the phone with the Wholesale hottie, Toddy. Yo, she's dope too, man. She's hard. Toddy is hard. I'm having her next Thursday on the show for you guys, man, on the channel. Man, I'm gonna look out too. Anyway, I got off the phone with her, and she was a waitress, right? She was a waitress, and she's booming now. She's booming. She just bought her house. She just told me she bought a house in short sale because she does wholesale only. She doesn't do creative financing. 50 bands and a short sale. You got to have the cash, man. She's getting 50,000 last year at this time. She was a waitress. I mean, that is definitely like going from rags to riches. You know what I mean? So anyway, man, I made some mistakes, but I had some wins. I had a lot of wins, and I documented that, man, how to do it. That's when I came up with the 7 steps to becoming the bank. 7 steps to becoming the bank, man. And think about that. Becoming the bank. Banks are the most powerful. They have the best real estate. And they have the most say-so, man. People have to go to them to buy a car, to buy a house, to get credit cards, to put their money in to save. So, y'all, I'm the bank, the Go-Getter family bank, man. And that is the best feeling, man, in the world. That's the best feeling in the world. But, what was even better than that, though, was even better than becoming the bank was when I helped Janelle Eagle Robles of She Helps Homeowners LLC close her first deal by becoming the bank. She closed a house, man, and she lives in California for $760,000. $760,000. She didn't spend not one dime of her own money, not a penny, nor did she do any credit checks. She didn't go to a bank with her hat in her hand, asking them to borrow her this money so she could become an investor. No, I walked her through it. I told her what she could and couldn't do, because this is a new reality, man, using subject to and creative financing. And I call it the wholesale and hold method. But it's a new reality, and you have to learn what you can and can't do. But then our contracts are our most powerful weapon, most powerful tool. So she's a GoGetter family member, man, and she's working her way to the round table, man. She's gonna be one of my round table members, inner circle, man. She's dope. But I helped her close that first deal, man, and that was awesome. And that's on my social media too. But I helped her, and then that felt even better than becoming the bank. You know what I mean? And then I also helped Jose Saldivar of 20K Properties LLC, helped him quit his job as a cold caller. He used to be a cold caller for a wholesaler, and he was driving, right? By using the 7 steps to becoming the bank. But my proudest moment, I just put up on my IG not too long ago, my 18-year-old apprentice, he just turned 18. He got his first deal under contract in 3 weeks. And once he got it under contract, he didn't know what to do, right? So he's telling me, guys, he's telling me that he was cold calling. He was cold calling, and he used to set a time to cold call every day, man, from 3 to 7. And the thing is he's still a senior in high school, and he works part-time at Walmart, right? So he knows he doesn't want to have a job, man, because working at Walmart sucks. Working at Walmart sucks, man. And for you guys just joining me, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you're not subscribed. But my name is Gene Boykin. I'm the founder of the GoGetter family. And on this channel, I teach entrepreneurs how to invest by becoming the bank, invest in real estate without having to spend any of their own money or needing to borrow money from a bank, getting credit checks or anything like that. So he's telling me, like, he's making these cold calls from 3 to 7 every day, right? So I asked him, I was like, little bro, were you nervous? He's like, man, big homie, I was shaking in my boots. I was like, I didn't laugh or anything. I was like, don't even trip, because so was I. So was I, man. But then, you know, what it's like is, you know, I was teaching my son to ride his bike, you know, and when they get on there without their training wheels, this is what it's kind of like, man. You're nervous because you're like, how can a person ride this thing on 2 wheels? There's no balance on it, right? There's no balance on it. So I'm teaching my son how to ride, and he just doesn't want me to let go. He's like, you know, and he's scared, but he starts going, and I let him go, and he doesn't even know it. He doesn't even know it, man. But he fell a couple times, you know, made some mistakes. Well, that's what it was like. My apprentice was scared to death. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I was shaking in my boots. I would stumble over my words. I didn't know what to say, but I had your training. So I had a framework of what to say. You know, that's step 3 of becoming the bank, you know, of the 7 steps of becoming the bank. It's value-based negotiating, how to negotiate in a way that's authentic and gets results. So we set ourselves apart, man. You have to set yourself apart. That is how he got this deal, man. The deal that he got right now, mind you, he's still in high school, and he works at Walmart part-time, and he's only 18 years old. So the house that he bought, right, that he got under contract, the seller owns 7 houses, right? And he owns them outright. There is no debt on them, because I looked them up. And he owns 2 gas stations. One of the gas stations in my city is known for their chicken. You know what I mean? I was like, what? That gas station over there on Highway 75, that's the house? He's like, yeah. I was like, what? Bro, that is dope. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, man, how in the hell did this 18-year-old deal with this businessman that is a millionaire? That's a millionaire. But he was well-versed in the 7 steps to becoming the bank. So he knew what he could and couldn't do. You know, step 1, a new reality. Step 2 is understanding your playing field. Right. So that's the contract, understanding the power of the GoGetter family contract. So he knew what contracts to use and what not to use. Step 3, that value-based negotiating. Man, he knew what to say. So he found out, right, that this seller, he had been trying to sell that house for 2 years. He didn't like renting it out anymore. He didn't like being a landlord. So he's just like, I'm not even renting it. He had money, so he just left it vacant. He was trying to sell it through a realtor. It didn't sell, man. It couldn't sell because there was, I don't know, man, realtors, I love you. I do love realtors. but they are not what people think. They're not, man. Um, anyway, they're not what people think, man. So that house didn't sell. So he came in and he brought value. He got that house under contract, man, for 60,000. Well, he comes to me, right? And he came to me a week later. He was like, big homie, I got this house under contract. I was like, what? I didn't even, you were cold calling. He's like, yeah. I was like, man, you wasn't even ready yet, but I'm proud of you for taking action. He's like, but I don't know what to do. He's like, I've had it under contract for a week. I don't know what to do. I was like, don't even trip, man. I said, don't even trip, dog, because that'll come. That comes. But you took action and you got it under contract, right? But he had me, right? He knew he had me to come back to. So that's what happened. He's like, man, I don't know what to do. So I'm like, don't even trip, man. What's the address? We look up the property. I look at the numbers. I call some of my buyers, man. And a week later, I had a buyer, man. So he got it under contract for 61,000. I sold it all cash for 70 grand, man. $9,000 assignment right there, man. I was so proud of that moment that I helped my 18-year-old apprentice. That boy's going to be a millionaire, man. Has the potential, honestly, and this is no cap, man, to be a billionaire, man. No cap, bro. Straight up, because he is 18 and he's out there taking action, got that house under contract, dealing with a millionaire. A millionaire owned that house, right? So, when he becomes a billionaire, I hope he gives me that credit, man, for being the seed that got him off, man, like straight up, man. So that made me feel good. I still smile, man, about that because I felt great about that. You know what I mean? So, as exciting as that is, I've shared my system with hundreds of aspiring real estate investors, veteran real estate professionals, I was, and that's what I want to do. This is for new people on the 7 steps to becoming a bank. It's for new investors that don't know anything about real estate. That's what I prefer, because then you didn't learn the wrong way to do real estate. You didn't learn the wrong way, the traditional way. That's not the right way. And then for veteran real estate investors, I'm here to show you that there is a different way. There's a different way. You don't have to stay up every night, all night like I did, wondering if the bank is going to give you credit. You don't have to do that. You can become the bank, man. I sleep great at night because I don't go into banks to apply for credit to ask them to help me so I can buy this investment property. I found a great property. Here's the margins. Here's how long it's going to take to do the work. Here's the scope of work. And all. No, I don't do that, man. I go into these banks to deposit these checks, man, and to cash these big boy checks. You know what I mean? So I sleep great at night, man. I was able, by using the 7 steps of becoming a bank, I was able to start 2 more businesses. So I own 3 businesses, man. And I went from landscaping to owning 3 businesses, taking family vacations, man, taking family vacations. I saw a beach for the first time in real life just this past summer, man, and that's kind of sad. It's like, dang, this dude has seen a beach for the first time. That's kind of sad. But it's also, everything's about perspective. So I think it's amazing. I think it's amazing that this is what this strategy did for me. And I got my first house, man, in April. And in 3 months, by July, I owned 4 houses. By August, I was like, you know what? I'm taking this vacation. Boom, I'm gone. You know what I mean? And then I went from the bottom 80% of income earners to the top 1%. Just like that, man, since April, man. So, this is something that anybody can do. And so that's why, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what's in my course, man. Now, the round table, you gotta get past the master class to be at the round table with the go-getter family, right? But there's a lot of people out there that are go-getters, man. So that course, the course that I have, it gives you, it's the Buying Free Foreclosures course, but you're going to get the knowledge in there to wholesale or to wholesale and hold, right? I like foreclosures because, guys, I'm not a jack of all trades. I am a specialist at this, strategy. I am like a scientist, man, like a doctor. I've been called a unicorn, all types of stuff, man. Like I've been called a unicorn. There, Janelle Eagle Robles, who I helped out in California, who's about to be at the roundtable, man, because she is dope, man. I love Janelle. I do, man. Janelle's hard, man. So anyway, she knows a broker, right, that had been a broker in her city, and she bought that house for $760,000. It's got an ARV, after repair value, of $925,000. So she's dealing with properties that are of high value. You know what I mean? Well, the broker, the go-to broker in that city that's been a broker for 25 years, he was on vacation during the week that we closed it. He told her, he was like, you know what, Janelle, I'm making you come to my house to have dinner so you can walk me through this transaction. I've never seen anything like it. And this guy's been a broker, man, for 25 years, highly respected. So we're in a blue ocean with this. We are in a blue ocean with this, all right? So I'm going to tell you guys the difference real quick between a blue ocean and a red ocean. I don't know if you guys have heard that theory or not, but a red ocean, that means like the market is saturated with people doing that same thing, like wholesaling. There are a ton of wholesalers out there, ton, right? So that's a red ocean, man. It's full of blood, man. All the predators are eating up all the prey, and it's making the water bloody. So it's a red ocean. So in bloody water, man, you can't see. It's uncomfortable. You're jockeying for space, for room. You know what I mean? You're like, man, everybody's trying to get that little scrap that's floating, man. And that's how wholesaling is right now. But I respect wholesalers. I do, man. I do, because that is a way to get into real estate without having that lump sum of money. And that's what people want, you know? So a blue ocean though, which is where I am, which is where I live with creative financing and subject to, and the GoGetter families process that I came up with, the wholesale and hold, it is a blue ocean, man. So there is no predators over here, right? There's no predators over here eating up all the food, making the water all bloody, man. It is a clear blue ocean. It is a clear, there's not many people doing this. I'll tell you this too, man, for my viewers, I am the only person in my city, the only one, man, which is crazy. I'm not saying that to brag, because that ain't cool. I want people, this is why I'm giving you guys this knowledge, because I want people to know that they can do this so that they can get financial freedom, right? But I'm the only person in my city that can stop a foreclosure with 6 days left. I just bought a house, man, in September, a couple months ago, had 6 days to the sheriff's auction. 6 days, guys. I got a $30,000 check from that house, man. I made a lot of money, still making money because I get monthly passive income in that blue ocean. That was a wholesale and hold, because I still own it. I'm not even a landlord, man. It is dope. That's what the masterclass teaches you, right? You can get all the benefits of a landlord without being a landlord. I make a monthly passive income. Every month I get checks, man. I get my payments on the 28th. I do that for a specific reason, which I talk about more in my masterclass. I also talk about that in my buying free foreclosures, because I want you guys to have that game. So that blue ocean, guys, there's not anybody in it, man. So if you got the opportunity to be in a blue ocean, why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you? You know, and it's our limiting beliefs that stop us. If you guys remember what I said at the beginning, when my partner, my friend, man, my homie, man, my ace, he was like, hey, why can't I just take over somebody's mortgage? I can afford that. And I was like, what? You can't do that. I've never heard of it. You know, you can't do that. You know, that was my limiting belief. And had my back not been against the wall to where I didn't have a job and I had a family to support, I would have never found out about that. And I would have never been in front of you guys right now telling you guys that you can do it too, right? Because my own limiting beliefs, but my circumstances forced me. My circumstances forced me to have to dive in, right? It's almost, you know, it's kind of like being so hungry that you don't like vegetables and onions, right? But that's the only thing to eat. Well, guess what? At a certain point now of that hunger, you eating all them vegetables, you're going to eat them onions, and you're probably going to like it. Well, you might find out, though, that you like it. Not only do you like it, you love it. So that's when my partner planted that seed by asking me that. I looked into it, and here I am now, man. And I don't even have to borrow money from him anymore. He doesn't even have to chip in for me to buy houses, man, but he's part of this business, man, because I love him. That's my homie. I'm loyal. I'm a righteous dude, man. So he's with me now, man, to the end. You know what I'm saying? But that buying free foreclosures course, it's going to tell you exactly how you stop a foreclosure with 6 days left. So it's going to put you in that blue ocean, right? It's going to tell you how you stop a foreclosure. But then also we talk about, you know, because one thing's for certain, right? When you call a bank, okay, when a person is in foreclosure and they're behind on their payments and they call a bank, man, the bank's treating them bad. They're disrespecting them. They're just handling them. They're like, man, I don't care about you. You're behind on your payments. You can't make your payments. This lady, and I've got an email, man, where I checked the account manager. I did it articulately, right, and respectfully, because we maintain dignity, right? But we have power when we become the bank and we have influence. I've released that email on my it was in September. I released it, man, on my social media. I checked her. But you got to understand that they're not treating these people right. So when you call these banks, you've got to talk to them in a specific way. And you have got to sound like you know what you're talking about. Otherwise, they're going to be like, but now understand this. You've got to sound like you know what you're talking about. But if you have a question or you haven't done something before, this is what I do. Because I started as a beginner too, man, just like everybody. This is what I do. I'll tell them, hey, I've never done that before. How does that work? Just say it just like that. Hey, I've never done that before. How does that work? Boom. That's it, right? You got to say it, but you say that with confidence. Because if you start like tap dancing around and kind of hemming and hawing and acting like you kind of know it, but you really don't, and then you start saying some things that don't even make sense, they lose more respect for you. People respect it when you're just like, hey, I've never done that before. So how do you do that? I want to learn. I didn't wake up knowing how to do this. I learned, you know what I mean? So you got to go about it like that, man. It is cool. It's cool it's all right to not know, but the way that we go about it. And that's kind of what I talk about in buying free foreclosures. That's why the 7 Steps Masterclass, and just for y'all, man, I put the 7 steps, the Go-Getter Family 7 Steps Guide to Becoming the Bank in there. Okay. Now that is a 24-page step-by-step guide of the 7 steps that breaks down the framework of those steps for you. All right. So somebody's asking about that 7 steps to becoming the bank. Where can I get it? Well, the guidebook is in the Buying Free Foreclosures packet. So that guidebook is in the Buying Free Foreclosures packet. Right there, man. I got a dude that reads that every day, and this is the thing, man. If all you have to lose is getting financial freedom in 12 months, if you follow the process, why wouldn't you do it? You know what I mean? And it's 75% off right now, man, for the holidays. It's only $97. $97, and that will get you, that is your start. I love buying foreclosures. I am a specialist at buying foreclosures. And understand this too, with the pandemic and with the pandemic and the moratorium on foreclosures, where people their houses couldn't be foreclosed on if they fell behind. Well, that's over. The moratorium's over. And those payments were piling up. So if you fell behind on a $1,000 payment a month, you're definitely not going to be able to pay. If you were a year behind, 12 months, that's $12,000. You're not going to be able to pull $12,000 out of the sky. So there's about to be a freaking flood of foreclosures, man. And the thing about foreclosures, why I love them, is because these people have to sell. They have to. So in the Buying Free Foreclosures course, I talk about not only how you can buy them and hold them, keep them, and make a chunk of money, and I'll talk about how that works. But you can also wholesale them. You can get them under contract for that debt and find a buyer, man, because this person has equity. They don't owe that much. They don't owe that much, man. Man, I've gotten some great deals. They don't owe that much. So when you get it under contract, they owe $60,000. Well, they're behind. So you can just tell them you'll give them $5,000. You know what I mean? I've gotten a house for $10, man. $10. $10. And the person, I did not take advantage of them, and I didn't beat them either, because I got their house for $10. I helped those people. I helped them, and they love me to this day because I stopped them from financial ruin. There were some things that were going on, man, that I stopped, man. I went in front of city council for them. I did all types of stuff, man. I stopped $20,000 worth of liens going on that property that was in foreclosure, and then $10,000 going on the property that they live in. That would have ruined them, man. I stopped that. So I got that house for $10, man. So I came up, but I also helped them too. So that's what we do. We help people. So with the, this is how you get paid 3 times, right? You get paid 3 times. This is why I say it's like, man, it's like dealing drugs. I don't want to use that comparison, but that's what it's like. I'm from the hood. I'm from the streets, man. I grew up rough. I grew up in I'm from the mud, straight up. So anyway, it's like selling drugs. Okay. And I'm about to take questions here in a minute. So it's like, and this is why, and I'm not recommending that you sell drugs. Do not do that. That's not cool. No, like that ain't cool, man. I used to, man. And I got jammed up, you know what I'm saying? But that was the best thing ever happened to me, getting jammed up, man, because I learned a lesson, and I learned from it, and I came out better. You know what I mean? Now here I am. But don't do that, man. But it's like that because one, we don't have money, so we're going to the plug and we're getting in front of these bricks. Well, it's the same thing with a house, right? When a person's in foreclosure, they have already qualified for that debt. They qualified for that debt, so that debt's already there. So we go to them, right, and we get that house from them, and that debt remains now. So we still have to make payments on that debt, just like when we go to the plug and we front some bricks. We got to pay him, but he just like, you don't got to pay me right now, right? Matter of fact, just give me $100 every week. You know, that's the plug saying that, right? Well, that's your mortgage payment. So then, right, this is how we get paid 3 times on this, right? Now, when we buy a foreclosure, we get paid 3 times. So yeah, it is, Michael. So we get paid 3 times, okay? We go get this house under contract and we're taking over the debt, right? So we get it under contract, and I'm going to give you a real world example. I'm going to write it down right now for you guys, right now. Since I'm about to give you the game. I'm gonna write it down, man. And this is a house that I've done. These are the numbers on it, all right? So the lady, she was going, this is the one that was going to auction in 6 days, all right? She calls me, and there's a backstory to that, man. I have been dealing with her. I told her that I couldn't help her because homeowners are delusional. You're gonna run into one of 3 types of people, okay? The first type is the person that they just do not care anymore. They're not answering any phone calls. They're not opening any letters. They're just going to ride it out until the sheriffs come and remove them. And I don't recommend that to them. I tell you, I don't recommend that because the sheriffs will come and physically remove you. Or the second type of person is they don't want to sell their house. They don't want to move. They just need more time. Something happened, man. A medical situation, right? Or they lost their job, man, or they got a pay cut or got laid off, man. Who knows, or they got divorced, man. There's so many reasons. They're moving out of state and they were carrying 2 mortgages. I mean, there's all types of, but the person that doesn't want to move and they just need more time, I'm not gonna, in the go-getter family, I don't teach this, man, to press people to sell their house, man. Like, well, you're in foreclosure, so you got to sell it to me. We don't do that, guys. We don't. Because you can't go in there with desperation to buy a house or you'll never get a house. So a person that needs more time, and I've done this with my acquisition company. We buy houses and help people. I asked the lady what she had done, right, so far to stop the foreclosure. And she told me, and I tell her, well, hey, you can still get a delay of sale. So I let her know what she had to do, call down to the clerk, ask them for this form. They'll fax it to you, fill it out, fax it back. She got 90 days. Well, lo and behold, it's been 2 years and she still lives in that house. She still lives there. That 90 days saved her, right? So that's the second person. The third type of person, they just want to see how much money they can get and be done with it. Well, this lady wanted to stay, but there was no way because she waited too long. So there's only 6 days left. So I'm like, well, there's nothing else you can do, right? So there's only 2 choices here. You can either leave with nothing and have the sheriffs come, move your stuff to the curb, and all that time and everything that you put into this house, the money, or you can at least leave with some money in your pocket, and I'll see what I can get authorized from the committee because we're running short on time. And that's a tactic, guys, we use in our negotiating. The committee, we want to have a higher power, right? Something to put a buffer between us and the seller. I'm the committee. I go talk to myself. I'm a little crazy. You know what I mean? Me and the committee go have a conversation. But I'll see if I can, what I can get done with the committee. And, you can get some money. And what we do is we provide a service. We are service-minded first. So we will provide you with movers to do the heavy lifting. What could she do? She was like, let's go. I didn't even know I could do anything. I was just calling you to see how much time I had left. I didn't know I could do anything. So blue ocean. So anyway, she owed 66,000, right? 66K that was her judgment amount. All right. That was her judgment amount. And I'm going to tell you guys this right now. The judgment amount, how much they owe total, we don't have to pay that. We don't have to pay that. But a lot of people, most people don't know that. Most people don't know that. Most people think that this judgment amount right here, that they have to pay that off or it's going to go to auction, when that's not true. It's just simply not true. So she owed 66,000, right? Her house, the ARV of that house right now today Back then it was 127,000. Today it's 129,900. So 130,000. That's the ARV of that house, the after repair value, right? So when it's fixed up, my buyer put about 10 grand into it. So, and this is how we become the bank too, right here. So she owed 66,000. Well, her back payments, what she was behind, she hadn't paid in 600 days, man. 614 days, honestly. So her back payments were, it was like 14,000, like 660 is what it was. And I remember the next number I'm going to tell you because this is what I had to pay. So, and guys, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe. You see, I'm giving you this game, right? You see, I'm giving you this game. And I'm going to go ahead and I got the plug for you on the buying the free foreclosures, man, 75% off for a limited time. So she owed 14,600 back payments, y'all. Back payments. Back payments. I'm not going to use any vowels here. I don't got time. So the back payments were 14,660. Okay. So if we catch up these back payments, this loan is now good again. And they have to stop the auction. They have to. The law, right? They have to. They can't say just because you fell behind, we're not going to accept your money, but you have to pay all of these back payments. Now, this is the thing. This wasn't the amount. So this is why you have to do something specific, guys, because if somebody would have came in and paid this 14,660, that house would have still went to auction. It would have still went to auction because the actual amount was $15,783. And I remember that number because that's what I paid, man. It was $15,783 to bring it current. Bring it current. Now, right here, it was $15,783. Now, right here, though, this is how we become the bank, man. Beautiful. Because I paid the bank $15,783, but that did not come out of my pocket. I did not pay that out of my own pocket. I didn't pay a dime out of my own pocket. So this house, it's in God's country. It's in God's country, right? In my city. They call it God's country because it is a very desirable neighborhood. And people want to live out there. And it is nearly impossible to get a house out there, man. A house that I just got that was going to sheriff's auction too. Not the house next door to it, but the one next door to that. It just sold for $195,000 and they were asking $185,000. So it was $10,000 above the asking price, man, in this neighborhood. And that house, that I got that house for free. Yeah. Go figure, right? Become the bank, man. 7 steps to become the bank. So to bring that loan current, that's $15,783. So this has this number right here. This has all the late charges, the attorney fees for the foreclosure, because that costs money. You know what I mean? So you got to pay this amount to stop the foreclosure. All right. So this is what I did. Let me switch sides real quick to my good side. You know what I mean? So I only had 6 days. Now I had got kind of lucky on this because, guys, when you do this business, you're going to have a reputation. You're going to get a reputation out there that you're in real estate. You know what I'm saying? And you make miracles happen. I'm telling you, I've been called a unicorn, all types of stuff. So I had somebody come to my office that wanted to get into real estate, right? And he owns a business. So he was going to get into it using the BRRRR method. I don't know how many of you guys have heard of that, right? It is buy, repair, rent, refinance, repeat. Right? So you refinance it so you get your money back out, but you got to get it at a low price. So he's like, man, I can't find any houses. That's my problem. Like I've been calling, Zillow for sale by owner, and I can't find any houses that are at the number that I needed to be at to do the BRRRR method. And the BRRRR method, very popular, very, very popular method. But the 7 steps to becoming the bank, way better because now I'm his bank. And now he's refinancing based off of my numbers. I just did a payoff. He's refinancing right now. It's in the process. So I'm about to get the rest of this money. I'm about to get paid 3 times off of this house, man. Ridiculous, dude. And I'm his bank, man. That's how dope this is. So anyway, he comes and he's like, man, I can't find any houses, So I was going to teach him how to invest, but he owned a business, so he didn't have much time to learn. So 2 days later, after he came to my office and he said he had money, man, he said he had a line of credit from his bank, right, for his business. So I tell him, I'm telling him the ways that I can sell him a house. And I'm like, hey man, I can sell you a house and you don't even need the whole amount. You can just give me a down payment and I'll sell it to you on contract. You give me a down payment, then you make payments on the rest. So then you can get a good chunk of your money to fix it. You don't have to use all of your money to buy it. Does that make sense? Right? So it's kind of like if you go to a car dealership, right? And there's a car there that is, beautiful. You want it, right? But it costs a lot. And then it's going to cost you even more to put 26-inch rims on it, stereos and tint the windows. Well, what if you were able to only pay $1,000 for that car and then use your other money to buy those 26s or 28s? I don't even know what y'all be riding because I don't do that. Or buy the system. You use that money. That's what it's like, man. You're buying that car, that 2021, and you're only paying $1,000. And there's no credit checks. I'm not even running your credit. As long as you got the $1,000 on me, you can have this 2021 car. Well, that's how and then that's where we become the bank. So with the house, right? I call him after she called me and she's like, yeah, I only got 6 days left. I was like, well, I'm sure I can get you some money. I've got to authorize that with my committee. And I got the phone call recorded too, y'all. And I'm going to add that to the Buying Free Foreclosures so you guys can hear that call. It's like 40 some minutes long too, man. Super long. I'm going to add that link so you can hear it. So I'm using these tactics in there. So anyway, she calls me, tells me that, she's about to go into auction. So I'm like, all right, cool. I need to see your documents. I need to see your last mortgage statement, some other things, right? So I see how much she owes. Then I get the amount to bring it current. I call him. I'm like, hey, bro, I got a house, man. You were just at my office looking for a house. Were you serious about it? He's like, yeah, I was serious. I said, well, it's in Morningside, best neighborhood in the city. I said, but I'm going to need a $30,000 down payment. Remember that. That's the key right there. And I haven't even became the bank yet. I'm going to show you how I became the bank and how I get paid 3 times on a wholesale and hold. The Go-Getter Family's method, right? And this is becoming the bank, man. I'm giving you guys this game. So I get a down payment of $30,000. Down payment. $30,000. So what I do is I've got his down payment now. I take his down payment to my bank, deposit it, wire transfer $15,783 to the lender. Wire transfer $15,783 to the lender out of this $30,000, y'all. Out of this $30,000. So I haven't paid a dime. I haven't paid any money. What I did was I used my knowledge. I used my knowledge and my contracts to be able to do that. What? Man, this is hard. And I own the house. I own the house. On public record, it shows that I own this house. So he is buying it from me on terms. My buyer gave me a $30,000 down payment. Now I agreed. I paid her $4,000. All right. I paid her $4,000, and then I'm going to pay her another $2,000 once he exercises the option. That is something else. That's a hybrid method. I don't want to get too sophisticated, but so I paid the seller purchase price. Purchase price. Sorry guys, I'm left-handed. It's ugly writing. Purchase price was $4,000 up front, $2,000 on the back end. And on that $2,000 on the back end, man, it was only $5,000. But out of the goodness of my heart, I gave her another $1,000 because I'm making this money for free, man. And I'm not that type of dude to like be beating people out of money. You know what I mean? So money don't make me, man. That's why I say, man, if you covet money, the Go-Getter Family is not the right place for you. We serve people, man. We are service-minded first. And then the results of that, the side effects of our service, of the value that we bring, then that's beneficial for us and our families. That determines if we get paid. The side effects is money, man. The side effects are money. You can't have that at the front of your mind. So $15,783 out of this 30. I give her $4,000. So that is total of $19,000. $783, right? Minus now out of this 30. So let's take it out of the 30,000. That is going to leave us $10,217, man. Yeah, I'm like that with the numbers. Yeah, if you're watching, get your calculator and see if that's $10,217. I'm like that with the numbers. Plus, I did this deal. These are the numbers minus like the change that was on them. Anyway, $10,217. Guess whose pocket that went into? It was already in my bank. I just made 10 bands. I just made $10,000 off of my knowledge, y'all. Off of my knowledge. This was a foreclosure. This is why I say, you see it going across the bottom of the screen, buying free foreclosures. Because it was free. I didn't pay anything for it, and I own it still, right? So this is where I became the bank, okay, right here. So he gave me a $30,000 down payment. Now, this is what I made on the front end, okay? That's what I made on the front end. Sorry that it's so messy, y'all. I'm like a mad scientist, y'all. So remember I told you this property has an after repair value of $130,000, right? I charged him. She owed 66. My sale price, I sold it. My sale price was $89,900. That's where I became the bank. Right there. I became the bank, y'all, because what banks do, banks create debt out of thin air. Out of thin air. When you go deposit money into a bank, they loan out 10 times what you deposited because they're the bank. They're just creating money, man, and getting you in debt. That is a bank's acquisition. You are a bank's acquisition, your future. You leasing your future by going into debt to them. I don't do that anymore, man. I don't go into debt to buy houses, man. I will never buy a house by getting a mortgage. That is crazy to me. So that's how I became the bank right there, because she owed 66. And this debt, it's still in her name. It's still in her name. And but the house is in mine. And oh, man, I apologize if I'm getting a little hype, but I'm passionate about this, man. I live and breathe this stuff, man. I do, because I love it. And I'm like a scientist at this shit. I am, man, because something this powerful that can free you. I mean, you know, if all that's going to happen is you can quit your job in 6 months, why would you not be hype about it? Like, if that's all that's going to happen, you know what I mean? Or if all that's going to happen is you can now take your family on family vacations and not be on vacation like, oh my goodness, I don't know if I can afford the dessert with that dinner because I spent all this money on vacation. No, man, I just went on vacation. I wasn't tripping about none of that. Right? So if that's all that's going to happen, what do you have to lose, man? And that holiday special right there, I'm giving y'all that because I love y'all, man. I want y'all to win, man. And money don't make me. This is not how I make my money, so I'm not tripping, man. Anyway, this is how I became the bank, because I just created $23,000. Oh, y'all can't even see that. All right. I just created $23,000, $23,900 out of thin air. Out of thin air. Do you guys understand what I'm saying right now? Just think about this for a second, man. Just think about it for a second, man, please. Because this is deep. This is deep right now. This lady owed $66,000. She was going to foreclosure, going to auction in 6 days. I came in and I bought her house. I called her up. I made that loan current by paying $15,783 out of this $30,000 down payment from my buyer. So I didn't spend any money. I didn't go apply for credit. I didn't show my W-2s. I didn't show proof of income. I didn't use a realtor. I didn't do any inspections. I didn't do none of that, because you don't have to do that dog and pony show, man. So do you guys see what I'm saying? So then I put this $10,217 in my pocket, all right? Charge $89,900, okay? Well, her interest rate is only 3.3%, okay? This is how I make monthly passive income. She pays, I'm going to erase some of this. You guys got it. If not, rewind the tape, right? So she pays 3.3% APR. 3.3% APR. Well, guess what? I'm selling this house on contract, right? So when you buy on contract, the interest rate is way higher, man. There are people that pay 10% interest. In my city, the average interest rate is 8 to 10% interest when you buy on contract. I don't charge that much. I don't, man, because it ain't cool, right? But I charged him 5.5% APR. Now, I don't want to get too sophisticated, man, but that 2%, it doesn't look like much. It doesn't, but that gives me $300 a month because he's renting to own it from me. So his monthly payments, y'all, listen to this now. His monthly payments that he pays me, let me lower this a little bit, y'all can get that. Okay, so his monthly payments that he pays me, I take his monthly payments and I pay the bank out of his monthly payments. Now, I charge him $300 more a month than what the mortgage is. So now I get $300 a month, monthly passive income. And guess what? Y'all? I'm not even a landlord because he's buying that house. He's buying it on rent to own. So my buyer is responsible for the maintenance and the repairs. So I don't go fix leaky faucets in the middle of the night, man, unclog toilets in the middle of the night, or driving around in my rusty old truck with my tool belt on, hating life. Because I'll tell y'all this, man, for all of my newbies out here, I love y'all, man. But being a landlord is not what it's cracked up to be. It isn't, man. Being a landlord, if you talk to anybody, matter of fact, mark my words right now, when you get in this game, man, because I feel it, man. My ears are ringing right now, man. Y'all see the value in this, man. So you're going to get in it. When you get in this game, talk to some landlords and just ask them, in passing, how is it being a landlord? What? Bro, now, unless they own like 30, 40 houses, they have a management company, that means they came from some money, man. They're like, I don't care, being a landlord, I make money, But the average landlord owns 3 properties. 3. It's a mom and pop shop. They are going to be like, oh my God, it sucks because they do the same thing, man. They borrow money from a bank. I don't want to get too deep, man. This is what the master class is for. This is what 7 steps is for, right? To becoming the bank. But they borrow money from a bank to buy an investment property and then they rent it out. And the rent pays their mortgage. And they keep that $300 spread, man, $400 spread. But they're responsible for the maintenance and the repairs. So if a furnace goes out, man, that's $3,500. So at $300 a month, that's $3,600 a year. All right, $3,600 a year in 12 months. Well, if the furnace goes out, that's $3,500. So I did all this work and I only made $100 for a year. You crazy? So I'm not responsible for maintenance and repairs. My buyer is, because they are buying it, right? Now they have, so I made $10,217 initially, 10 bands. Then I'm making $300 a month. $300 a month, guys. That pays for my Explorer. I drive a Ford Explorer, man, 2015. I'm about to upgrade, believe it. But I don't buy liabilities, man, just so I can show out. I don't do that. I'm building generational wealth. But this house that I got for free, it pays for my car, my Explorer. So $300 a month. So now he's paying me $300 a month, but that's barely paying down any of that principal on that $89,900. So when he exercises his option, because we set it out 5 years, so they have 5 years where I'm going to be getting paid monthly payments, $300 a month. Then on that 5th year, they owe me a balloon payment. So they owe me the rest of the debt on this $89,900. Okay. They owe me the rest of the debt on the $89,900. I'm not going to go into all the numbers and how it adds up because it's a little sophisticated and I've been going hard, but I'm going to make a minimum of another $9,000. 9K, man, $9,000 right there. So that's 19,000. And then if you do the math, on 3,600 a year for 5 years is 15,000. That's $18,000, man. Y'all, 18,000 plus 19,000 is 37,000 and some change. 37,000 and some change, man. And I'm making $300 a month passive monthly income. And then if they don't exercise that option, if they don't pay what they owe on that 5th year, even if they've been paying that monthly payment on time every month for 5 years, and they don't make that balloon payment, I do a forfeiture which is the same thing as a foreclosure with a mortgage. I do a forfeiture. I get that house back in 30 days and get to do it all over again. All over again. Man, this is glorious, man. It is. So, guys, questions. And oh my goodness, if you do have questions, yo, what up, Mom? Cider, what up? Put where you're from. If you have a question, put where you're from. Where do you get the contract that the seller signs? Okay, the contract that the seller signed, it's going to be difficult to get these contracts using subject to, because subject to, it's creative financing and subject to, and it's non-traditional, it's unconventional. So a lot of lawyers don't even know what subject to is, and they damn sure don't know how to write up the contracts, which is a shame. So you've got to get them in the industry. You know what I mean? I do have document packets in my buying free foreclosures course. It has the documents that you need in there to do a deal just like this that I just did. Do a deal just like that I just did. So you got to get them in the industry, man. You know, that's all I can tell you. Like, you can go to a lawyer. You might find a lawyer that there are lawyers that know what subject to is and creative financing, but it's like a needle in a haystack. So the GoGetterFamily.com is where you can find the buying free foreclosures. And that thing, man, there, woo, it has that thing got so much value in it. The buying free foreclosure is going to show you how you get paid 3 times like that. Then you got all your documents. You got that the information release, the limited power of attorney. Then you got the contract for deed, because I sold it. I bought it on contract, and then I'm selling it on contract. So that contract for deed is what you need. So in the buying free foreclosures, there is a link with a video explaining the contract for deed. And then there's the video course showing, you know, foreclosures, buying the free foreclosures, the course, man. So it comes with a couple of video tutorials, all of the paperwork, and then my negotiating, man. The value-based step 3 of the Go-Getter Family 7 steps to becoming the bank. How to negotiate in a way that is authentic and effective. I put a lot of the documents in there, how we negotiate, man. So that is how we do it. Cider, please put where you from next time. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. I appreciate you watching. Dominic Diaz, what's good, homie? Chicago and AZ. Talk to me then, man. You globetrotting. Michael Williams, Texas. Is these subject to in the invoice you sent me? Michael, you and I are going to have to talk, man, because you can do this in all 50 states. But in Texas, you can't buy on contract and you can't sell on contract. All right. You've got to do something called a wrap. So Michael, me and you were going to talk, because I believe you said down there that you bought that buying free foreclosure. So if that's the case, I got you, homie. I'm going to do a consultation with you, and I'm going to give you these other documents, man, that you need. All right. I got you. This is how the Go-Getter family gets down. If you bought that, you're now in the Go-Getter family, dog. That's what it is. Can you print your own contracts and form? That's what I did, man. That's what I did, miss. I think that is. Yeah, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you. Candace, what's good? Love the content. Henry Del Cristo. Hey, man, I appreciate that. I do, man, because, you know, I'm giving you all this game, man. I'm pouring into you. Letting me pour into you. That's cathartic for me, man. Worcester, Massachusetts. All right. Talk to me. You over there by Boston. Been there. It's all good. Cool. Bruh, I paid the invoice. This seminar gave me confidence. See you on the other side, Michael. Thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate you trusting me to get you that financial freedom, to get you there, man. I do. I appreciate it. It's an honor, man. It's humbling. And I can't wait to see you on the other side, man. I look forward to seeing you at the round table, man. I'm putting something together for my people now, man. The round table, man, it's going to be a 3-day event where we're going hard, and it's my round table people, man. I've got some heavy hitters, man. My guy, Coach Dub, Levi Epps out of Las Vegas, credit repair, setting up blind business trust. Oh my goodness, y'all, high level. So I hope to see you at the round table, Michael, man. Just bought the course today. Henry Del Cristo. Hey, thank you, man. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I do. Y'all are dope, man. 7 steps to becoming the bank. Where can I get that, please? Okay, so my master course, my master class for the 7 steps to becoming the bank is going to be out after the new year. All right. It's that, and that is not $97. You know, it's not. It's going to be, you know, the master class for the 7 steps is going to be closer to $997, you know. And that's a low price, because again, you know, if all it's going to do is allow you to be financially free in 12 months, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose if it's all it's going to do is allow you to be free? If all it's going to do is allow you to tell your boss, you know what? I'm tired of being undervalued. I'm tired of being disrespected. What do you have to lose? I would, man, what? My boss now, my ex-boss? Hey, yo, it ain't even like, he used to try to stand on me, man. He did. He used to try to stand on me. And it's like, no, listen, man, I don't need you anymore. I don't. And that's how he played it, right? He used to play it like, because it was landscaping and snow removal. So people got paid like little hourly wages. I started at 12 bucks an hour and then I worked my way up to 25. But he used to play it like if he didn't call you to tell you where we was working, he wouldn't answer your calls and people are blowing him up. And he used to like that. Like he used to like people needing him, man. So if all this is going to do is allow you to tell somebody like that to shove it, what do you have to lose, man? Or if all it's going to do is you know, give you time to do something like I'm doing right now, man, pour into people and help other people, man, help and serve other people, then what do you have to lose? You know, so the master class, I will be coming out with that after the first of the year, you know. And my thing is this, some people are like, you know, $997, I don't know if I'll have that, you know. Well, the people that don't have $997 to get them something where they can buy a house like this for free, if you don't have that, you're the main one that need it. You are, because I was, man. So, you know, if you are the main ones that need it, you know, what are you going to do to get it, man? A credit card. See, this is the difference between rich people and poor people, right? I'll tell you the difference right now. Poor people are like, oh, that's too much. I can't afford it. You know, that's too much. I can't afford it. Rich people, on the other hand, wealthy people, they're going to be like, all right, how do I get it? What do I need to do to get it? Right? Do I need to put it on a credit card and make payments? Just like if you know, for the master class, if you put that on a credit card, what's the monthly payments on $1,000? $50? Can you afford $50 a month putting that on that credit card? Right? So that master class is going to be coming out soon. If you don't have $1,000 to pay, the $997 to pay for it, you are the main one that needs it. And it will set you free if you follow the process, man. All right. So, you know, that's where we're at with that. Do you need a license to start? No, you do not. You don't have to be a realtor. You don't have to have any certifications. None of that, guys. And I want you guys to know that. And wholesaling right now, they're starting to outlaw wholesaling, because wholesaling was how people without a lot of money, a lump sum of money, got into real estate. That's how people got into real estate. And now they know that, and you don't have to have a license to wholesale. So now they're outlawing it, man. I know in Oklahoma, you have to have a realtor with you to wholesale. In Atlanta, they just did some city ordinance. In Kansas City, they are doing something right now. So they're starting to outlaw that. Well, with this is creative financing and subject to. It's high level, man. It's high level, it's sophisticated, and this is what the rich and the wealthy use. So no, you don't have to have a license or any sort of certifications, Henry. None. How do you stop the house from going to foreclosure? Well, I talked about that. Rewind that tape. I think you asked that question a while ago too. I don't know what that is. That's probably some spam or something. Is TGF buying free foreclosures the same as a free foreclosures course? Yes, it is. Buying free foreclosures and a free foreclosures course, Michael, is the same. My brother, Candace Jones, I don't know what you was laughing at. What she said? What was the add-on price? I don't know what you mean. I'm not sure what you mean. What add-on price? Candace got all 7 steps. I'm about to, Candace, I laced you up just because you from the town now. You from the town, so I'm gonna be telling people, been watching for about 15 minutes, and you, sir, have a new subscriber now. Flex. Salute, man. Salute, Flex. I appreciate it. I really do. I really do, man, because I came up from the mud, getting 1 subscriber at a time, man. I'm starting to blow up right now, you know what I mean? But I still appreciate it, Flex. I do, man. Hey, Derek McLean and Dominic Diaz are both from Chicago too, so let's connect. You know what? This is what I love about this, because I'm going to say this, guys. I'm going to say that I'm an hour and a half in, so the people that are still with me watching, I appreciate it. The people that are just tuning in, I appreciate you too. But check this out, right? This is real right here. I had to leave away from my hometown to do what I'm doing now, right? To jump out there and take a chance. But then I came back to my hometown because I'm like, I'm different. I'm built different. But if I would have started, doing this, getting on YouTube, doing seminars and stuff like that in my hometown, the people that know me, they would have been laughing at me like, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you got bad grades in school. Oh, you graduated third from last in your high school class. How can you teach people how to do this and that? How can you be financially free in 6, 7 months, right? And I would have never done it. I would have never done it, right? Because I don't have that group of people, man, that group of people who are like-minded like me. You know what I mean? This is why I'm talking about this, Derek, man, because I like that you guys are going to connect there in Chicago, because that's what the Go-Getter family is, right? We are a family of go-getters, right? People that are go-getters. And I know most people have called themselves a go-getter at some time or another, right? But we're a family of go-getters who are different, man. We are built different, right? And we are going to go out there and we're going to bet on ourselves. We're going to take a chance and we are going to put in the work, right? But when you have this group of people, the Go-Getter family, who are cheering you on, who are holding you accountable, saying, hey, you didn't do your cold calling today. Hey, have you been studying? Hey, did you send out your marketing letters today? Did you do any of those things, right? You're getting held accountable, but it's coming from a place of love. This is a community and it's a movement, y'all. So I'm going to put the private Facebook group. All right. I'm going to put that, I'm going to put the link for the private Facebook group in the description. So just request me and answer the questions. Leave your email and I got you. All right. But Derek, man, that's dope, man. I love that, man. Flex is down there in Texas. Yo, Brenda Lopez. Brenda from Los Angeles. I got a person I'm having a call with that is a potential member of the Go-Getter family. He's Game's barber, the rapper, the Game. He's his barber, right? And we can do this in all 50 states, all right? In Texas, it's a tad different because you cannot sell on contract and you can't buy on contract. But there is something called a wrap mortgage, a wrap, all right? It's a little more high level, but there's people that are down there doing it, eating, getting money. And guess what? The kid's a scientist. I do wraps. Texas too, Michael, Brenda. Can I do that here in Cali? Yes, you can, Brenda. Yes, you can. I'll actually be doing some transactions out there. Janelle Eagle Robles, my student, she lives in California. She got her first deal for $760,000. All right. And I walked her through that. She did that using the 7 steps to becoming the bank. Do you do Scott Jelnick's slow flip method? I do know Scott Jelnick. That is actually my mentor's, one of his mentors, right? And I don't know Scott's slow flip method, but that's kind of what I'm doing, the wholesale and hold. So, but I don't know Scott Jelnick's method, right? His steps. So I don't want to say if I do or if I don't. But I do know who Scott Jelnick is. Absolutely. He's down there in Virginia. Blue from Miami. All right. Are you saying we in a blue ocean? You know what I mean? Miami do got them blue water. Just found you on TikTok. Such a good page. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. I really do, Sarah. I do. And thanks for putting where you're from. Smiley Sonati. Where is that event? There, what event, homie? You talking about my roundtable event? We haven't, we don't have that all the way planned yet, man. So I will get that out there to the people. But if you're looking to get the Buying Free Foreclosures course, there will be a link in the description. All right. I'm going to put the link in the description, guys, and it's not in there right now. That is completely and utterly my fault. I got to get that. Matter of fact, I don't even know how to get in the description right now. So I got you. I'm going to put that in right as soon as we get off. So let me answer the rest of these questions. I got to keep my word. So, Smiley, I got you, man. Just go to the GoGetterFamily.com. All right. Go to the GoGetterFamily.com. And it is a Buying Free Foreclosures course. Angelica B. Wow, I love that name. Is that, I've never heard that name before. Is that Angelica? Angelica. I like that. That's dope. I found you on TikTok as well. I'm very intrigued on how to get started. Well, Angelica, the way to get started really is to one, it is understanding that you're in a new reality, right? That's step one of the Go-Getter Family 7 steps to become the bank. It's a new reality, a shift in mindset and awareness. So we work on mindset, right? Not letting fear hold us back. Also the ability to take action, right? And then commitment, understanding that we are more proud of our commitment than our results will get you the results, right? So that's how you get started, right? You understand what you can and can't do in a new strategy. So that's how you, and then the next thing, the next step, step two, it's understanding your playing field. So that is understanding the power of the Go-Getter family's contracts. So you want to know what contracts you have to use, in which I talked about that earlier in the video. And then you get those contracts. If you'd like to get started with the Go-Getter family, there's the Buying Free Foreclosure course at thegogetterfamily.com. Let me put that up here. That it's thegogetterfamily.com. You can also now to get to the roundtable to become a one-on-one student. Guys, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you now. I'm an investor, okay? I'm an investor. I'm not a guru. I don't throw that out there like I am or whatever. I'm an investor, man. I'm building generational wealth and I'm buying real estate and owning it, holding it, right? I love it, man. So I don't take that many one-on-one students. All right. I do have group coaching, and I do have some one-on-one students. What I do is I will have you talk with my ace, Norma. Norma's my ace, man. She's dope. I'll have you talk with her because she's in the Go-Getter family, and we'll see where we can help you, where we can bring value. And then we'll take it from there, and see if we're a good fit. And because, once you are in the one-on-one mentorship program, your success is definitely my responsibility. It most certainly is my responsibility, and I take that seriously. So, do you need an LLC? I do recommend that you have an LLC. Yes. So Michael says rich people are about ROI, return on investment, which you are right, guys. And look at my return on that investment, $39 some thousand, and no money in. I didn't take any money out of my own pocket. So once you acquire a property and take over the seller's rent, how do you pay the rent? Do you have to use your own money? Now you can use your own money, but I talked about this earlier in the video. So you're going to want to watch that video. You got to put in the time if you want to learn this strategy, but we use our buyer's money to pay that mortgage payment. So I used to wonder that same thing when I was learning. It's like, how do I make the mortgage payment? Because I can't afford another mortgage payment. I use my buyer, right? My buyer pays the mortgage. And then I'm catching the spread, guys, catching the spread. And put where you from next time, Anthony. I appreciate the question, though. What up from Chicago? Yo, Demetrius Dixon. I found you on TikTok last week. I want to get started. Demetrius, check us out at thegogetterfamily.com. That's 75% off. The link will be in the description. Hey, okay, you bought that Buying Free Foreclosures guide today. That's what's up, Anthony, man. Hey, man, thank you, man. Thank you. I am truly humbled, man, and I appreciate it. I'm truly humbled by that. Man, I'm just really humbled by that, and I'm glad that you bought that and that you're taking that step, and jumping out there, man. Because you know what, faith is like this, guys. And I talked about this a little bit today. Faith is like this, all right. You ever woke up and the room was all dark, right? It's like it's pitch black. You can't see anything. You can't even see your hand right here, right? And the light is somewhere way across the room. Well, you still got to get there, right? So you're reaching out in front of you, right? Hoping, like your eyes are all big because you can't see anything. Your eyes haven't adjusted. You're reaching out and you're trying to feel for something, hoping that you don't run and bash your head or face into something, right? But this is what faith is like. You take that first step, boom, and then you feel out and you don't hit nothing and you're under solid ground. Then you take that next step, and then you take that next step, and it's a little easy. Take that next step, and then your eyes start to adjust. And now guess what? Now you're moving in that dark. Boom. Then you like, oh, there goes the light switch. Hit that light switch and it's on. That's what faith is. That's what faith is stepping out there. But we have faith in ourselves because we know the hard work that we put in. We know that we have gained the specialized knowledge that we need. We know that we were committed to this, right? And we know that we are surrounding ourselves with like-minded people, because I'll say this, your network of people is going to determine your net worth. Your net worth, how much you're worth, right? And are you, I'm about to take this bet. Are you going to be part of a movement? Are you going to be part of a movement? The Go-Getter family? Are you going to be part of a movement? Or are you going to still do the same old, man? You know what I mean? The same old. So Candace Jones, no, it's not that much. Candace, what are you talking about? Not that much. About what? I don't know what you're. What can we get? When can we get the subscription? I don't have the subscription service set up yet, homie. David Robertson, you are from Dallas. Okay, down there in Texas. I love it, man. Demetrius, does this work in Illinois? Absolutely. Yes, it does. It works on all 50 states, and they're doing it over in Puerto Rico. I'm about to start investing in Hawaii. So, guys, I got to get up out of here, man. I got to get home to the fam. I got to eat some dinner. I'm starving, but I really appreciate you guys watching. And it is my goal with this channel, right? It is my goal to show my people, man, my people, the everyday hardworking people, that you too can get financial freedom and that you do not need money to make money. You don't. That is a lie that they told us to keep us out of the game. You don't need money to make money. And also, you don't have to go to a bank and borrow money and apply for credit to buy an investment property. You don't need a realtor. You don't need any of that stuff, right? So I'm here to teach y'all that, man. And I appreciate y'all watching. I do. So if you're a go-getter, a true go-getter, until next time, let's get to it, y'all. I'm gone.